You've prayed, God, give me a sign, but all you've heard is silence. But silence isn't absence. Silence is alignment. When a seed breaks underground, no one sees it. But the breaking is necessary for the rising. And in this moment, God is breaking things in the dark so that you can grow in the light. Construction zones are noisy, dusty, confusing. They don't look like the final blueprint. But no architect abandons the plan just because the site looks chaotic. Likewise, God hasn't abandoned you. The noise, the confusion, the waiting, it's part of the build. Angels have been assigned to your journey. Doors are being prepared. Your name has been whispered in rooms you haven't entered yet. But first, the internal shift must be complete. That's why the things that used to satisfy now feel empty. That's why comfort feels uncomfortable. You're outgrowing your previous self. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not too sensitive. You're not too emotional. You're not falling apart. You're being reborn. That grief you're feeling, that's not just sadness. It's spiritual release. You're mourning the version of you that can't survive your next level. A woman once told me she lost all her friends in 1 year. She didn't understand why until months later when she stepped into a calling that required isolation, focus, and resilience. Now she mentors hundreds of women. The loneliness was preparation, not punishment. Spiritual growth often feels like grieving. But don't mistake discomfort for disqualification. This is the pain of divine positioning. You've been carrying expectations that were never yours, lies that were planted early, assumptions about your worth, your role, your limits. But God is detoxing your spirit. He's not just removing what's toxic, He's reprogramming your soul. When I started my own journey of spiritual detox, I was shocked by how much of my thinking was shaped by fear, not truth. I didn't even notice it at first, but God began to gently remove the layers. People pleasing, shame, comparison. And what was left was raw, but finally real. God isn't trying to make you more perfect. He's trying to make you more free. That freedom may feel like fire. It burns off the old. It makes space for the new. It hurts, but it heals. We're conditioned to think healing comes from striving. But in God's kingdom, healing begins with surrender. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't need all the answers. You just need a yes. A trembling, imperfect, whispered yes. Think of Mary, the mother of Jesus. She didn't ask for a platform. She didn't seek out a miracle. She simply said, "Let it be unto me." And the entire trajectory of history shifted from that posture of surrender. God is inviting you into something sacred, not a performance, a partnership. He wants your trust, not your perfection. God sees what no one else sees. He sees the prayers you prayed when no one was watching, the tears you wiped away in secret, the acts of obedience that felt small but cost you greatly. And He promises this: none of it was in vain. Every step of faith is a seed planted in heaven. And the reward, it doesn't always look like a mansion or a miracle. It looks like peace, clarity, favor, and timing that's perfectly aligned. I once met a man who walked away from a high-paying job because he felt called to ministry. For years, he struggled. But then one day, a door opened, a position he never applied for, a connection he never saw coming. He said, "God didn't just reward me financially. He restored my sense of calling." You may not see it yet, but God has been working behind the curtain. And when the curtain lifts, you'll realize every no led to a better yes. Your obedience is not forgotten, it's treasured. And now, the reward is beginning to unfold. Now, let this be more than just a message. Let it be a moment of marking. God is not just encouraging you, He's commissioning you. You've been through the fire, and now you carry flame. You've been refined, and now you carry clarity. You've been hidden, and now you're ready to lead, not with pride, but with power wrapped in humility. So here's the blessing. I bless your mind to think with clarity and reject confusion. I bless your heart to feel deeply but not be overwhelmed. I bless your hands to build what heaven has whispered. I bless your voice to speak with boldness and tenderness. I bless your steps to be sure, ordered, and filled with grace. I bless your rest to be healing, your purpose to be unveiled, and your spirit to be unshakable. You are not just a listener of this message, you are now a carrier of it. Walk boldly. You've been touched by truth. You've been filled with fire. This is just the beginning. Amen. Have you ever felt like something is moving behind the scenes of your life? Something you can't quite put your finger on? You wake up and the sky looks the same, but your heart feels different. Your sleep is restless. Your thoughts are scattered. Old relationships feel out of sync. The things that used to excite you now leave you empty. What's going on? This isn't just fatigue. It's not just a phase. It's a spiritual shift. Something is changing in the invisible. And you, my friend, are in the middle of it. But this is not the end. It's the middle. The sacred, uncomfortable, soul-rearranging middle. And in this middle space, God is speaking. Loudly, clearly, gently, relentlessly. Let's walk through it together. There's a weight you've been carrying. Others don't see it. They see your smile, your Instagram posts, your composed face, but they don't see the nights you cry in silence, the questions you whisper in prayer, the way your soul quietly begs, God, please don't let me break. God sees it. He sees the strength it takes for you to get up each day. He sees how you've encouraged others while wondering where your own help would come from. You're not invisible. You are deeply known. Years ago, I sat in a hospital room watching someone I love take their last breath. I remember wondering where God was. I couldn't feel Him, but now I know. He was in the silence. He was in the breath I still had. He was in the strength to endure what I thought I couldn't. That kind of seeing, divine seeing, is different. It knows you deeper than you know yourself. God knows the questions that keep you up at night. What if nothing ever changes? What if I'm stuck forever? But He says to you now, this is not the end. It's a setup. It's a stage being set for breakthrough. You felt it. You can't explain it, but it's there. The sense that something is off, or maybe something is just beginning. Your appetite for the old is fading. You can't go back to how things used to be. Even if you tried, you'd feel a deep disconnection. This is not random. This is spiritual surgery. God is detaching you from what cannot come with you into your next season. A caterpillar doesn't understand metamorphosis. One moment it's crawling, the next it's in a cocoon, and everything goes dark. It has to fall apart, literally dissolve, before it can fly. That's what's happening in the invisible. You're being remade, not because you're broken, but because your next form requires a new foundation. Patterns are breaking. Relationships are shifting. Even your reactions are changing. That's because God is rearranging everything. People, timing, location, opportunities, all with divine precision.